Bulking. What is it? Bulking is one of the most well-liked muscle building techniques ever for a reason. Simply, it works. To ensure that you build muscle without getting too much fat on you, we'll explain what bulking is, when it's ideal to do it, and how to bulk in this video. Welcome to Fitness Friendly. We create fitness and health films to assist you in all things related to fitness and health. Simply said, bulking is a nutrition regimen intended to make you heavier. I've therefore been bulking for around 5 years in a row, completely on purpose. Gaining weight necessitates eating more than your body requires, which provides your muscles with an ongoing surplus of nutrients, making bulking likely the most common muscle building technique. In other words, you need new nutritional components or building blocks to add muscle, and bulking provides both. Of course, stimulation is also unquestionably necessary for muscular growth, which is a weird physiological way of saying that you must exercise. Exercise plus bulking results in tighter shirt sleeves. Now, let's discuss when you should choose to bulk. You must first determine when to make certain that bulking is what you really want to accomplish. People who desire to gain muscle while keeping their current weight, they should not bulk. If you're interested, a video about that will be posted below. That's more like maintenance or recomp. Additionally, because bulking involves weight growth, it will also result in an increase in your fat mass in addition to your muscle mass. Bulking might not be the best option for you if you want to avoid that. There are, however, strategies for reducing fat growth, which we'll discuss later. Knowing about the problem of fat accumulation makes it obvious that bulking becomes more important as your body fat percentage decreases. This is wonderful from a physical and health perspective. Less body fat makes muscle more visible than more body fat, while having too much body fat poses hazards to one's heart and metabolism. Having said that, a decent time to consider bulking is when your body fat is less than 15% for men and 22% for women, respectively. That isn't a hard cap, mind you. Although it should still be regulated for your health, body fat percentage may be less important if you have goals other than physical attractiveness, such as being stronger. If you're new to bulking and your primary focus is on your physique, I advise you to initially think about cutting or maintaining your current body fat level if you're between 15 and 22%. Cutting and maintaining can aid in reducing body fat while, in certain situations, continuing to add muscle. After a cut or maintenance, you'll have more room to work with if you choose to bulk up. Now, if for any reason you're unable to obtain an accurate reading of your body fat percentage, using the categories provided when determining your body mass index is a passable substitute. You should think about bulking up if your BMI is in the lower half of the normal range. However, for individuals just starting out, BMI is better than nothing, and it does have a good association to body fat percentage. BMI isn't perfect, though, especially the more muscle you have. The least desirable instrument you can employ is, of course, a mirror. There's obviously a lot of subjectivity involved. The mirror, though, can be sufficient if it is abundantly evident that you would benefit from having more muscle and your body fat doesn't seem to be a problem. But when you can, try to quantify your opinion using the prior techniques. So now let's move on to how to and get things going if, after careful consideration, you decide that it is time for you to bulk. So what tools should you choose to use? As was stated at the outset of this video, exercise must be combined with bulking to develop muscle. Now I'm going to focus more on just bulking in this video and not dive too much into the exercise, but for the most part, you'll adhere to the progressive overload training approach, which has become increasingly well-liked and is principally assessed by increases in training volume. Again, additional links will be provided below for everything. For bulking, you should train 3 to 5 times per week, twice a week for each muscle group. Aim for 2 to 4 sets of 6 to 12 reps for each exercise. Prioritize compound exercises. Push each set nearly to failure with a few failure sets, and then gradually increase volume over time. If you need additional assistance, don't hesitate to ask questions on the Fitness Friendly community Instagram page and peruse the available resources there. And now, finally, the bulking how-to. Increasing your calorie intake is crucial for bulking. You'd need to constantly consume more calories than you burn in order to actually gain weight. The slightly challenging element, though, is achieving the desired calorie excess. Yes, you can theoretically gain muscle merely by working out and consuming as much as anything you want, as long as you're in a surplus. However, with this uncontrolled, unclean sort of bulking, that's going to have the major consequence of adding more fat quickly. You could gain weight too quickly. You want your bulking instead to have some sort of structure. The most important thing to do is to consume adequate protein, as this is the food that gives muscles their structural components. Aim for 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight every day on average. As long as you're consistent, a little bit more or less is acceptable. And if you come close to that number, doesn't really matter where you obtain your protein from. Although eating largely whole foods is what you should aim for, occasionally consuming processed high-calorie items will be okay if it helps you meet your calorie targets. In terms of calorie targets, aim to keep a 300 to 500 calorie daily surplus to prevent all that ick. If you've never estimated your calories, you can start with the calculator below. It will give you your maintenance calories, and then your objective will be to consume 300 to 500 calories more than that every day. One of the several calorie counting applications available will allow you to calculate the calories in your diet. Once again, the 300 to 500 range is not a strict upper limit. If you aren't gaining much muscle, you can eat more. And if you are, you can eat less. Just remember that more calories lead to more fat, and less calories lead to fewer nutrients, which could lead to less muscle. Adjust as necessary. When I ultimately decide to purposefully bulk, I'll do what's called lean bulking, which is achieved by following these precise methods. Now, on to deciding when to stop bulking. When deciding when to quit bulking, keep in mind that you want to keep your body fat percentage low. Again, there's no set upper limit. It's usually a good idea to stop at about 22% and 28% body fat for males and females, respectively. If you're happy with the amount of muscular growth you've gained, your bulking phase can end sooner. Some people even utilize their strength objectives to gauge when it's best to change direction. Naturally, maintenance or trimming are the courses to think about taking after bulking. So, that concludes bulking. I sincerely hope you found this video to be useful, and I wish you the best of luck with your bulking goals. Please note that the description of this video will contain links to any topics and techniques that were discussed in it. If you require anything, look into those. Other than that, if you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up and tell your friends who enjoy muscles about it. Comment below with your thoughts on the video and make sure to subscribe for more. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I want to remind you to eat some protein.